Naoya Inoue's journey through the world of boxing has not been a gradual climb. It's been a ruthless, methodical demolition of every opponent who dared to stand across the ring from him. Inoue doesn't just fight. He dominates, punishes, and humiliates with an elegance so violent it borders on theatrical. His brand of destruction isn't reckless. It's deliberate, calculated, and infused with terrifying precision. Watching him dismantle his opponents is like witnessing a master artist using chaos as his brushstroke. This is not merely fighting. This is boxing glory. In only his second professional bout, Inoue faced an opponent who severely miscalculated what he was up against. The adversary charged at him with bravado, mocking the young monster as if he were just another rookie prospect. What happened next was a chilling reminder of how fast confidence turns to fear when reality strikes. One thundering right hand from Inoue interrupted the man's sense of space and time. In an instant, the bravado vanished and the opponent's feet disconnected from his brain. He rolled across the canvas like a broken puppet, momentarily unconscious, his limbs unresponsive. As he tried to recover, his body betrayed him again, arms flailing, feet stumbling in a cartoonish dance that has since been dubbed the chicken dance. Even the referee appeared confused, momentarily mistaking the staggering fighter's dazed reach for an affectionate embrace. The confusion didn't last. Inoue's punch had done its job. His opponent was finished. As he pursued more prestigious belts, Inoue met the battle-hardened Omar Narvaez, a veteran whose resume boasted a long reign as a champion and a toughness few could question. That toughness, however, evaporated within seconds of the opening bell. Inoue's first major salvo was a rocket disguised as a right hand, and it buckled Narvaez's legs immediately. The second shot was even more devastating, sending the Argentine spiraling downward like a man shot out of a cannon. But he wasn't done. Narvaez, prideful and still believing he had something left to prove, got up. Inoue obliged him with a brutal left hook, one of his most reliable weapons, sending him to the mat again. And in the process, Inoue broke his own right hand. The pain barely registered on his face. He merely lifted his arms to the crowd, gladiatorial, in his stance as if telling them the fight was already over. Narvaez would rise again, dazed and helpless, only to receive a vicious two-punch combination to the body that made him clutch his stomach in agony. The fight ended with Narvaez writhing on the ground, his spirit broken and his dreams shattered. In 2015, after a year-long layoff, Inoue returned to face the loud and boastful Warlito Parenas. Parenas chose mockery as his strategy, flashing smiles and antics that had worked on lesser men. But Inoue isn't just a fighter, he's a predator. When the bell rang, Inoue stalked him with the patience of a hunter. The moment Parenas attempted to play the fool, Inoue unleashed a torrent of blows that sent his opponent stumbling into the ropes. His legs turned to jelly, and what followed was the kind of beating that could end a career. As Parenas sagged, under the pressure, struggling to maintain any posture, Inoue gave him a taste of his own medicine, taunting him while peppering him with relentless shots to the body and head. Parenas foolishly tried to counter, only to have Inoue play ping-pong with his head. His punches came in combinations that seemed endless, draining his opponent's life bar to zero, one calculated strike at a time. As Parenas wobbled like a character from a video game awaiting the final blow, two massive right hands sealed his fate, dropping him to the canvas. He rose once more, barely, and the referee, no longer willing to bear witness to the slow destruction, called it off. Inoue continued his ruthless climb and met Ricardo Rodriguez in 2017 for his WBO super flyweight title. Rodriguez, ranked number 2 at the time, had the grit and heart that most champions require. He fought back hard, proving to be one of the toughest tests Inoue had faced so far. But toughness alone wasn't enough. After enduring Inoue's calculated punishment for 2 rounds, Rodriguez looked increasingly out of sync. Between rounds, Inoue's corner delivered tactical advice. Focus the left hook, sharpen it, and load it. Inoue followed it with mechanical precision. 30 seconds into the third round, Rodriguez was knocked off his feet, flung across the canvas as if pulled by an invisible force. His legs buckled, his face a bruised testament to Inoue's accuracy. He stood again, courage still, flickering in his eyes, but his body had given up. Another left hook landed with terrifying force and Rodriguez collapsed, his body no longer able to resist the inevitable. That was the end. Skeptics tried to discredit Inoue's rise. Some pointed out that most of his fights had taken place in Japan. Others claimed his early opposition stood too still, allowing him to dictate pace and distance. They argued he hadn't been tested on the world stage or outside his comfort zone. Inoue silenced those critics when he stepped into the ring in the United States, a country known for its deep boxing history and unforgiving crowds. Under the bright lights of an American arena, Inoue faced another formidable opponent who carried confidence but lacked preparation for what was coming. Inoue's first body shot landed like a rifle crack. The impact was visible in the opponent's eyes, a mixture of pain and disbelief. Another left to the ribs folded him instantly. It wasn't just the power, but the placement and timing. Inoue targeted the solar plexus, the floating ribs, and the liver, all soft points that turn warriors into kneeling men. Commentary teams couldn't keep up, describing the action with urgent calls. Another left hook to the body, as if each blow could signal the end. When the round ended, the corner saved their man from further humiliation. They knew what the fighter didn't. There was nothing left to give. Months later, Inoue faced another world-class name. The narrative was familiar. A proud fighter, dismissive of Inoue, referring to him with mocking nicknames and butchered pronunciations. The tone was set, disrespectful, cavalier, and painfully unaware of what was coming. When the bell rang, Inoue gave no time for pageantry. He went straight to work with his left hook, finding angles, measuring space, and breaking down his foe, systematically. The opponent lasted long enough to mount a fierce exchange, but one clean shot from Inoue changed the tone of the fight completely. The man crumbled, legs tangled, body stiff like he'd touched a live wire. He rose, barely, stumbling, around in another infamous chicken dance, his arms and feet betraying him, his instincts useless against the storm. Inoue resumed the hunt. A crushing liver shot brought him to his knees, and the end came swiftly. The ring, once his stage for brash boasts, became his prison. By June 2022, Inoue had grown restless again. His sights turned to Nonito Donaire, a seasoned veteran and future Hall of Famer who had once managed to survive Inoue's wrath. Their previous battle had been close, brutal, and filled with mutual respect. But this time was different. Inoue wasn't there for a contest. He came to dominate. In the second round, after narrowly missing with a few sweeping hooks, Inoue adjusted. He caught Donaire with a clean right hand to the temple. The reaction was instant. Donaire, known for his durability, sat down like a schoolboy being disciplined, his body collapsing without resistance. The shot had disrupted his equilibrium so severely that the fight was essentially over then and there. Inoue didn't gloat. He didn't need to. The crowd had seen enough. Inoue's reputation by now had transcended borders. From Tokyo to Las Vegas, from casual fans to veteran analysts, everyone acknowledged his unique combination of speed, precision, timing, and raw power. He wasn't just knocking people out. He was doing it in ways that humiliated elite athletes and exposed their weaknesses for the world to see. The monster, as he's been nicknamed, doesn't just win. He teaches lessons. Despite the occasional critique that he has not been tested enough, Inoue has left a trail of broken bodies and shattered egos in his wake. Some opponents came with belts, others with big mouths. All of them left the ring with new respect, if not permanent damage. His dominance is such that even analysts like Max Kellerman and Andre Ward, former world champions and revered commentators, have struggled to find adequate comparisons. They repeatedly point to Inoue's vicious bodywork, especially the left hook, as one of the most dangerous weapons in boxing today. But beyond the knockouts, what truly separates Inoue from his peers is his composure. He doesn't chase chaos. He creates it, controls it, and then finishes the job without emotion. His expression rarely changes. He steps over his fallen foes not with arrogance, but with the calm assurance of a man who knew the outcome before the fight even began. There are no gimmicks with Inoue, no flashy entrances, no unnecessary theatrics. He doesn't need them. His fists, his footwork, and his ferocity speak louder than any hype. Whether you cheer for him or against him, one truth remains. When Inoue enters the ring, someone is about to be humbled. His career is not just about victories. It's a symphony of punishment, a display of control and destruction that reminds us why boxing, when done right, is more than a sport. It's war, it's art, it's boxing glory.